Everything you need to know about cannabis and coffee shops in the Netherlands. Welcome to the Netherlands. One of the most well-known things about this country is its cannabis culture. If you're planning to visit Amsterdam or other cities, you've probably heard about the famous coffee shops. But while cannabis is tolerated here, it's still surrounded by specific rules. So, whether you're a first-time visitor or a regular traveler, let's dive into everything you need to know about cannabis and coffee shops in the Netherlands. 1. What are coffee shops? Coffee shops are licensed establishments where you can legally buy and consume cannabis. They're part of the reason why the Netherlands is famous for its tolerant drug policies. However, coffee shops are highly regulated and operate under strict rules. First of all, you cannot buy cannabis in regular stores, only at coffee shops that have a government-approved license to sell it. This makes it important to know where you can go to buy safely. 2. How much cannabis can you buy? When you visit a coffee shop, you might be wondering, how much cannabis can I buy? The legal limit for personal use is 5 grams of cannabis. That means you can buy up to 5 grams per day without facing any legal consequences. Anything more than that, however, can raise suspicions. Possessing larger amounts could lead to confiscation, fines, or legal issues. So, if you plan on buying cannabis, keep it within the limits. 3. Who can buy cannabis in coffee shops? Coffee shops in the Netherlands have strict entry rules. While cannabis is tolerated, it's not open to everyone. The first rule is that you must be 18 or older. You will likely be asked for identification when entering, so make sure to have your ID with you. It's also worth noting that while locals can visit freely, some coffee shops have started restricting access to tourists in certain cities, like Rotterdam and Maastricht. Always check the local rules before you go. 4. The difference between soft drugs and hard drugs. One important thing to know when in the Netherlands is the distinction between soft drugs and hard drugs. Soft drugs, like cannabis, are tolerated and can be consumed in coffee shops. However, even soft drugs are not completely legal, they are just allowed under strict conditions. On the other hand, hard drugs, such as cocaine, ecstasy, and magic mushrooms, are completely illegal in the Netherlands. If someone offers these to you, avoid them completely, both for your safety and to avoid getting into serious trouble. 5. Where can you smoke cannabis? Now, just because cannabis is sold in coffee shops doesn't mean you can smoke it anywhere. There are rules about where you can smoke cannabis in public. Public cannabis smoking is prohibited in many places. In cities like Amsterdam, smoking cannabis on the streets is generally not allowed in crowded tourist areas or near schools. The best place to enjoy cannabis is inside a coffee shop. Most of them will have designated areas where you can smoke or vape cannabis. If you're smoking cannabis outdoors, make sure it's allowed in the area you're in. Public parks, beaches, or other spaces may have different rules, so check for signs. 6. Mixing cannabis and alcohol. It's common for visitors to wonder about mixing cannabis and alcohol. While this is entirely your choice, it's important to be cautious. Cannabis and alcohol can affect each other. Some people find that the combination makes them feel dizzy, nauseous, or disoriented. If you're new to cannabis, it's best to try them separately to understand how each one affects you. Drinking too much alcohol and consuming too much cannabis can leave you feeling unwell, so start slow and be mindful of how your body reacts. 7. Important mistakes to avoid. When visiting coffee shops, there are a few common mistakes tourists make that you should avoid. Don't buy cannabis from street dealers. Street dealers may seem like a shortcut, but it's illegal, and the products may be unsafe or of low quality. Stick to the licensed coffee shops to ensure your cannabis is safe. Don't carry cannabis across borders. Even if you buy it legally in the Netherlands, taking cannabis to another country is illegal. Customs will confiscate it, and you could face serious fines. Don't consume too much at once. Cannabis can affect everyone differently. If you're new to it, start with a small amount, especially if you're mixing it with alcohol or other substances. 8. Driving under the influence. In the Netherlands, driving under the influence of any drug, including cannabis, is illegal. If you plan to drive or ride a bike, it's best to avoid consuming cannabis at all. The police regularly stop drivers and can perform roadside drug tests. If you are caught driving under the influence of cannabis, you'll face serious consequences, including fines, license suspension, or even jail time in some cases. 9. What to do if you're unsure. If you're ever unsure about the rules or where you can smoke or buy cannabis, it's always best to ask a local or check the rules for that area. The Dutch are generally friendly and direct, and they'll likely be happy to point you in the right direction. Closing thoughts. The Netherlands has a unique approach to cannabis, and the rules are designed to keep everything safe and regulated. As long as you stick to the coffee shops, follow the rules on public smoking, and avoid hard drugs, you'll have a safe and enjoyable experience. Remember to respect local laws, and always consume responsibly. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and enjoy your travels through the Netherlands.